All right, so we're starting on 413 today, okay? Uh, Basically, it's a way of solving problems with multiple solutions. We're going to start on problem 4-36, and yes, I am going to try to write a little bit bigger so that y'all can see. Or you could just squint your eyes a little bit more to make it easier on me, but don't do that. If I am writing too small, let me know so I can make it bigger. I'm going to try to do a little bit better today. All right, it says solve each of the systems of equations below without graphing. For each one, explain what the solution or lack thereof tells you about the graph of the systems. All right, so for A, you've got y equals negative 3x plus 5 and y equals negative 3x minus 1. All right, so how can you solve it? If it was me, the way that I would solve it is I would multiply everything times a negative 1. So that gives you negative y equals 3x plus 1. And on the top one, it doesn't change. So I'm going to use elimination. That eliminates. That eliminates 6. So 0 equals 6. That tells me it is a no solution. So that means they do not do it that way. No solution, so there's not an answer. Again, we're going to go and look at the answers so that we see exactly what they say. It says same thing, no solution, the lines are parallel. You should have known they were parallel from right there because the slopes are the same as well. All right, B. All right, so you've got y equals 1 half x squared plus 1, and you've got y equals 2x minus 1. And they have these set up so perfect for you to use graphing, but they don't want us to. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to elimination is probably my favorite thing to do, but just I'm going to do equal value method on this, or equal equations, whatever you want to say. Since both of these are y and both of those equal that, I could say y or 1 half x squared plus 1 equals 2x minus 1. I can set them equal to each other. Now the other thing that I would probably do is I would multiply this whole thing by 2 because I want to get rid of, y'all know I like to get rid of fractions right off the bat. So that becomes 1x squared plus 2 equals 2 times 2x, 4x minus 2. Now I've got x squared. I'm going to subtract 4x minus 4x. I'm going to add 2 plus 4 equals 0. Now I can snowflake this. A times C is 4. This is going to be negative 4. Alright, so negative 2 and negative 2. Negative 2, so x minus 2 and x minus 2. So x equals 2. Because when you set that equal to 0. So that tells you you have one solution. Okay, in a way you have two solutions, but they're both the same. So they intersect there. You should have known that this was a parabola. Okay, so it's a U. This was a straight line. So they intersect something like that. but shouldn't have been really very hard for you either. All right, so C. You have y squared equals x, and y equals x minus 2. Now, you should know that by now that this is a sideways parabola, okay, when you have the y squared. But I'm going to use elimination, I think. So that means I have to multiply this by whole thing by -1. So that gives me negative y equals negative x plus 2. Okay, so now all I have is y squared minus y. These eliminate, so equals 2. Okay, now I can take y squared minus y. I'm going to subtract 2 minus 2 equals 0. Now I'm going to go ahead and snowflake this, knowing that this is going to be, instead of normally if this was x's, it would look like this. It's going to look something like this. Okay. All right. So I'm going to have -2, -1. That means I need to have a -2 and a +1. So y plus 1 equals 0, and y minus 2 equals 0. So I'm going to subtract 1. Y equals -1. Add 2. Y equals 2. So I have two solutions, -1 and +2. All right, now C. Or that was C, I'm sorry. D is 4x minus 2y equals 10, and y equals 2x minus 5. All right, first thing I want to do, again, I'm going to use elimination. If you hadn't figured it out yet, that's probably my favorite way to do it. But I've got to get this, so it's x minus y equals whatever. This one's not in that format, so what I have to do is subtract 2x. So now I've got -2x plus y equals 10. All right, now if I multiply this by, if I simply just multiply this by 2, then I can start eliminating. So I have -4x plus 2y equals 20. That eliminates. That also eliminates, so I've got 0 equals 30, which we know is no solution. Makes it a lot easier. Hopefully that writing's a little bit bigger for you and you can see it. And again, if it's not, let me know so I can make it bigger. And yes, Liz is making coffee. Alright. Now consider the system below. Alright, and they give you x squared plus y squared equals 25, and y equals x squared minus 13. It says, how many solutions do you expect the system to have? Explain how you made your prediction. Me, I'm going to say, I'm going to expect to have 2, because that's my highest power. Alright, it says, solve the system by graphing. How many solutions do you find? Was your prediction correct? Alright, so how are we going to solve it? It says solve it by graphing. So I got this one I can put straight into my graphing calculator. This one I'm going to bring down here and I'm going to work it. So I got x squared plus y squared equals 25. I'm going to subtract x squared from each side. So now I have y squared minus 25, or I'm sorry, I have y squared equals -x squared plus 25. Now I'm going to find the square root of everything. So I have y equals -x plus 5, and I can graph that. Okay, so put it in your calculator, graph it. Um, Now it says find a way to combine these. This is C. So it says find a way to combine these, and then find another way to combine it. And all right, the way that I'm going to combine them is I noticed that these, both of these x squareds, okay? So I'm going to rewrite this down here. X squared plus y squared equals 25. And I'm going to go ahead and subtract x squared. So negative x squared plus y equals negative 13. Okay, so right now I'm going to combine them using elimination, because this eliminates. Now I have y squared plus y equals, what's that? 12. I'm going to subtract 12. Y squared plus y minus 12 equals 0. Now I've got one equation. It's easy to graph. And it only has one variable, y, because I can do the square root, all that kind of stuff. All right. 438. All right. This is the last problem in this section. Again, these sections are pretty short, but if you're not getting them, you need to take a little bit of time and understand them. Work with each other, try to figure them out. All right, so 4-38. I'm going to go ahead and flip over because this is so longer. All right, 438, it says, in problem 437, you analyze the system shown below. What minor adjustments can you make to an equation or both equations in this system so that the new system has no solutions? So what can you do to these? X squared plus y squared equals 25, and y equals x squared minus 13. What could you do to those to easily make it so that they would never intersect, essentially, so they had no solutions? Okay. With your groups that y'all are kind of talking with, everybody try to find a different way, because there's a bunch of different ways. You could change the slope to make them parallel. You could change the y-intercepts. You could take something away from it. You could add something to it. If it was just right off the bat, the way that I would change it is I would say x squared plus y, so I eliminated what was right here, equals 25. And here I've got y equals x squared minus 13. Okay, so I would do that. I would also change this from a positive to a negative, so when I moved it over, now they're not parallel, but your graph is going to look something like this, and they're never going to intersect. Okay. Now up here they're going to get very, very close, but they'll never completely intersect. All right, now B, the B part of it, there's a bunch of different ways. Everybody needs to find a different way on the A part, I'm sorry. But on B, it says work with your team to alter the system 3 or more times so the new systems have 3, 2, or 1 solutions. Okay, so what you're looking for now, you want to change these. It may be changing the powers. It may be changing anything. But you want it to intersect. Maybe it looks something like that. So there's 1, 2, 3 solutions. But you've got to come up with, essentially you're working backwards. So they give you what they want. You've got to figure out what the original equations have to look like. 2 may look like this. You should know what this particular equation is. If you don't, it's an absolute value. Okay, the V is the absolute value. And then 1, how could you change it? A 1 may look something like, there's one line, so it may look like a half parabola. Okay, it may be, I know I'm all over the paper here, I'm just, maybe 2 straight lines, all that kind of stuff. Okay, all right. If you've made it to the end here, congratulations, you made it to the end, and you get to start on your homework. 440 through 446, and any homework you didn't finish yesterday. Couple things. We are getting admitted today into St. Jude. Today's Wednesday, and we'll be there through the weekend probably, so I won't be back this week. You'll still have these video lessons, but if you have any questions, you can get on that Remind 101 and shoot them to me. Those come to my phone. You can email me, whatever you need to do. But we'll see you soon. I know this is only about a 15, 16, 17-minute lesson, and we'll go from there. Y'all have a good week, and I'll talk to you through this tomorrow.